Greetings, friends. It's me, Wayman, and it's November 2nd, and I just opened the kiln. I emptied it out. Made this little updraft kiln out of a old Duncan electric kiln that I had for Bisque, and it works great. Fires out in probably about 4 hours. Usually I go an hour for candling for this. These pieces are pretty dry, depending on how dry the pieces are. And then I do turn-ups every hour after. Usually after the second turn-up, all the smoke will come out, and then I let it run like that for an hour, and then go into the third turn-up. Usually half an hour, 40 minutes into that, the cone 6 will drop. So I'm firing to cone 5. When cone 6 drops all the way, pretty much that's a cone 5 half, when the cone 6 is melted all the way down. So my tripod broke, so I couldn't show you the opening and the unloading, but yeah, let's take a walk over here. I'll show you what I got. What's interesting is you're getting different colors off different shelves based on the way the gas and the flame hits the pieces. So it's like 8 o'clock, having my morning coffee. So you can see here I had a problem. So these darker oranges, these darker ones, came from the bottom shelf, hit a higher temp. So we'll see how the glaze goes on that. Now this is my my cone here. As you can see, it's bent right over. So that's probably like a high 5 right there. So I may be firing these too high, but I want to see. I haven't done any glazing yet. I have 3 loads to glaze. Now when I say loads, these are just little kilns. There's my second little kiln there. Sorry about all the garbage here. I got to get rid of that stuff. But you know, these are small kilns. You can only fit 3 or 4 shelves in. So I got 3 or 4 shelves, Bisqueware, little cups, planters, shaving bowls, and but yeah, you can see the darker hues. So these are my shaving bowls here. Maybe kind of deep. The guys don't like when they whip up their shaving cream to hit the edges of the bowls to make tingling sounds to wake up everybody, but it's practice. So this here got a crack in the bottom. May need to just compress the clay more. This went right through. And also do a better trim job. It's a little bit thick there, but that's something I need to work on. Did these little texture cups here. These are looking nice. Did a whole set of these. So some of these will just get iron oxide in the texture, and then glaze on the inside or on the rims to add just a little bit of something, and then maybe some glaze on these squares and some of these interesting elements here. So today, oh, here's some mugs. I'm glad these are turning out. These are ending up being some nice forms here. I was worried about the handles separating, but it's been a long time since I've done some of this. Very long time. I worked at the pottery. All this stuff was straight up everyday stuff, but now I had to relearn everything. Oh, this is a nice, this came out really light. This clay has a 14.6 shrinkage rate. So what I'm trying to do is figure this out. And all right, so that's the load. Lost 1 bowl. I'll use it for glaze testing. Got some of that to come up. Got tiles. Yeah. So politics, right? Well, if you're going to talk about religion or politics, you should be drinking. But I'm not drinking. Drinking coffee. But Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson. Everybody's been all hyped up about him being a Seventh-day Adventist. And for those who don't know, Seventh-day Adventists are a branch off the Millerites. And if you read about the Millerites and the Great Disappointment, way back in the day when people sold their farm equipment and looked up into the heavens, you'll kind of understand what's going on. Anybody can be president, and I really don't like the idea where people say, oh, so-and-so's not qualified. Career politicians, it was never meant here in America to have career politicians, even though politicians made it that way. And I really think there should be term limits on Congress. Anybody can be president. So to say somebody's unqualified, said the same thing about JFK. I don't think race or religion or sex should disqualify anybody from being a president in the minds of people. Lincoln, he didn't have a lot of education. They were worried about JFK being Catholic, Everybody went, heads exploded over that. But they got it worked out. And so Carson, even though I don't like religion and government, and I know that a lot of times I worry about religious ideas influencing political decisions and foreign policy, I don't think he's going to go that far. I think Carson's in it for the money. He took time off for his book tour, right? Tells you everything. You don't take time off in the middle of your campaign to go on a book tour. He doesn't expect to win, I don't think. He's just there to put money in his own pocket, to get famous, to get well known, and all of his evangelical friends in Iowa will vote for him. I don't believe he'll make it much past that. And same for Ted Cruz, a lot of these other guys. And a lot of people are like going, why are these guys talking so crazy? They're talking to their base right now. In the general election, you have to onboard people you may disagree with to win the election. You just can't win it on your own anymore. This isn't the Ronald Reagan era. This isn't the moral majority, Christian coalition kind of stuff. The country has moved, I believe, center-left. And Republicans are having a hard time understanding that. And they're going to be hurting if they don't start realizing that their policies need to move more towards the center. The debate with CNBC, Republicans are crying about it. It was free. They get free airtime. And they should be asked any question that the moderators feel like they wanted to ask, and they did. So some of them were gotcha questions, but why not? They're candidates. And I don't see anything wrong with that. They're all crying. Trump, well, they should be shorter. Carson's saying, oh, now they want Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity. Oh, that's even further right. They get pounded. So yeah, let them go back to Fox and have Rush Limbaugh ask them questions. Oh, it would be over. They'd be crying. They wouldn't do it again. So I don't know. I don't think there's a huge liberal bias in the media. The media, I don't think, is asking enough tough questions. They cater a lot of times to candidates. MSNBC to the Democrats, Fox News to the Republicans. So it ends up looking like a sham. And when some of these candidates get on each other's shows, they feel they're being unfairly treated because it's been so long since they answered a tough question. So Republicans do Republican debates. Democrats do Democratic debates. And have it done with. All right, so that's kiln, clay, and politics. And religion. Take care, friends. Oh, and incidentally, I see Tommy from the Bronx is back on. So congratulations, Tommy from the Bronx. If you haven't seen Tommy from the Bronx, go over there. He's got a ton of subscribers, but I used to love watching him back in the day, early YouTube days, and hanging out in chat rooms with those guys. And I really missed it. So I was listening to Tommy while I was doing some throwing. Take care, friends, and remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking.